In this video, I'm going to show you some improvements I made in the tool holders supplied with the Jinwen Quick Change Tool Post Kit. This is my Jinwen tool post, quick change tool post. I've had this thing for about 9 months. Chinese made, bought it off eBay, and I think I got this thing for 30 bucks. I was looking and I think you can still get them for about 35 with free shipping. So you get the tool post and you get these 4 tool holders. And so I've had this thing and I've used it to make many parts now. And I've gotten good service out of it. It actually works fairly well. Now I'm just a hobby guy, so I tend to cut aluminum and brass. Occasionally I'll cut steel, but not very often. And so for my purposes, this thing has been really a good value, I think. But I've had complaints about the tool holders that I'm going to go over here in this video, and I'm just going to show you real quickly some quick fixes that I did to address those issues. So come on over to the workbench. When you receive these in the box, you're supplied with a little Allen key. This is a 2.5 millimeter, and these grub screws, which is what you use to tighten the tool into the tool holder. And I had complaints about this from the get-go. For one thing, if you're using 1/4-inch tools like I do, these grub screws are really too short for this application. If you really want to put some decent load on the tool, you want to have a longer screw. So I'm going to take this one out and just kind of show you what I'm talking about here. So if you look at it here, you got barely a diameter worth of thread that's engaged when this thing is all the way down in the hole. Hope you can see that well. And and that even is in a bored part of the screw. So it's not a very strong fastener for this application. So I didn't like the fact that it was so far down in the hole. I didn't feel like I had good grip on the tool, or I couldn't really tighten it as much as I would like. And so the other issue is that these things, they're deep, the tops of these screws are deep into the hole, and so as you work, chips from your work get down in this hole here, and it gets to where the little hex heads are blocked, and so you end up having to stop and pick the swarf out, and I never can seem to get it all out of there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's swarf down in those holes, all 3 of them. I picked it all out recently. So my buddy came over, he did some work on his Harley, he made a couple parts on my lathe, and he had a couple suggestions for me. He said, first of all, you got to get rid of these grub screws, and let's go get some cap screws that use a larger size. So went and got these cap screws. Now these came out of the 732 thread drawer at the Ace Hardware, and they seem to fit perfectly, but everything else is metric, so there's probably an equivalent metric size for this. And then the head of this works with a 4 millimeter hex key. So I'm replacing these on all my tool holders, and it's a lot easier to deal with this. For one thing, it's easier to get the chips out. They're standing up proud where you can get to them, and the 4 millimeter is just easier to handle in general. So you loosen it, and then you can use your fingers to, you know, make small adjustments. So just a lot of positives in that little design change. And the other thing that Ted suggested, and in fact he couldn't stand using these little hex keys to change the tools around, and he suggested that I get some T-handles. And I thought, well, that's a good idea, and by golly, the next day he brought me over a set of these things. And I've been using them for a few days now, and it's like, wow, I should have had these all along. They really work well. They don't get lost, and they go right on this nice little rack, and they're always right where you need them. Well, that was all I was going to go over today here at Stewart Arts. I hope that this video was somewhat helpful to you. If you liked the video, leave me a like and a comment, and just tell me what you think, and is there any other suggestions you can make to improving the use of these tools. If you haven't become a subscriber to Stewart Arts, I hope you'll push that button and join the Stewart Arts Club. Try to put out new content every week or so, and I try to make it interesting. Have a great day. Here's the last thing I made with my mini lathe. I'm going to include the link for a video on this build if you're interested in seeing how this was made.